Oh man, my head hurt. Jesus. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. The book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below. As usual. Oh, this video is entitled Integrated into a Burning House. I think I talked about this in some ways already. I'm not too, but I'm about to get in depth for this time. So, the country is economically crumbling, and a lot of people are jockeying for positions. And, you know, because America is looked at as a beacon for hope, you know, promised land or great place worldwide, because it's a first world country that has a lot of great amenities, right? A lot of people in America are spoiled as hell. So what's happening is the people who are accustomed to benefiting off of the spoils of America are shook. And this is part of the reason you see so much turmoil and fraction, so much people going for self and all of this stuff is directly tied into the economics of this country falling. It's not a coincidence that you got white dudes nervous and you will not replace us. You know, you got women me tooing it and slut walking it up so the hoes could get paid, and the people who faking like they was hoes are suing people on the back end to get money. Everybody's looking for a severance package, a golden parachute. You know, you got people. You know, you got you got other groups of men trying to figure out where they're gonna fit, because when this country, forget just the financial collapse, I don't think people take into consideration the mental collapse. Because when this country, when that straw breaks the camel's back, as far as the top heavy part, white men are not going to be looked at the way they are accustomed to be looked at. Like, where people are trying to have a reverence for them and all this faith and confidence in them, because they crashed an economy that they built that was stolen. Like, they didn't even have to work for it. Like, so their greed crumbled their own vehicle for supremacy. And everybody knows it. Worldwide, really. You know, worldwide. And because when the world starts to look at white men in particular with that, your old news, buddy, like, they're gonna have breakdowns. This is part of the mass shooters. You know, I think school shooters are nervous that they're growing into a society that won't see them as the top dog. You know, and the older guys are living in a society where they're seeing their status constantly dwindle. And I think because because we're in a burning house, I think it psychologically affects the other groups who are non-white. Like, you start seeing you see white women cracking up. You see them jockeying for position, whether it be with attacking their men, dating outside of their race, or lesbianism. You know, and trying to, because in some aspects, white women are regurgitating old black male talking points about the glass ceiling and corporate America and America's lack of upward mobility for certain people. Because now they want to hurry up and get that upward mobility, because I think that they're ultimately tied to their men, and they can see it, and just like their men lose power and money, they're losing the power and money from being with their men. They're seeing it dwindle down with themselves too, even though it's a huge wealth gap. But you got to remember, like, the vast majority of America is in that wealth gap. So a lot of people can't handle. It's one thing I'm not going to be wealthy, but I get the privileges of my group. People are not going to get the privileges of their group, and now they starting to, like, everybody is going to be starting from scratch. You know, that meek shall inherit the earth type thing, the last shall be first type thing. So people are shook. You know, same thing with non-whites. You know, the caste system of America is about to get massively shaken up, because without the money, there's no reason for respect for the top. And, you know, people think, oh, I got guns, but see, here's the problem. Even with the guns, everybody got guns. And you can't shoot your way out of bankruptcy. Not anymore. Like, you can't, like, in the country, you can't shoot your way out of bankruptcy. It's not going to happen. You know, you can't shoot your way out of debt. You know, it's not going to happen. But in the world, as far as a military sense is concerned, they know that's America's MO. You know, oh, man, we losing money. We got to go start a war somewhere and steal somebody's money. So everybody else position themselves in a way they say, well, we got money, but we got guns too. So what you going to do? And, you know, as a world power, as a superpower, as a face for power, all the people who are non-white, who aspire to be accepted by whiteness or in whiteness, they're going to have a mental shakeup, because at the end of the day, they weren't necessarily, they had no pride in who they were. They had no pride in their group. So always jockeying to be white is going to cost them, because now if that idea of if that idol of power and status and money falls, now you're left with who you are. And, you know, to a degree, you know, it's like cooning with no benefits. Like, you know, you out here cooning, but you was getting paid. Now you out here cooning and you can't get paid. Now you just out here looking crazy, right? So now it's an issue, because now you don't really see the benefits, and there's no extra strategy, and you can't go back to your group like no harm, no foul. So it's going to be a mental problem. Like, that's why I say it's not only physical, not only financial. It's going to be physiological. Well, not physiological, but mental. I'm tired. Psychological. So you know, we integrated into a burning house. Now, there are groups of people in every group that I think can, you know, when this economy really tanks, they have the skills and ability to survive no matter what. But I don't think that's a lot of people. They have the skills. Now, they add on the people who have the will to do it. You might have maybe 30% of Americans, you know, because you think about it, older generations of people who've dealt with Jim Crow, or parents grew up in the Great Depression or some shit like that, they probably have the will to do it or the skill to do it, but they might just be too old, you know. But their kids and their grandkids, that's a whole nother story, you know. It's hard to find somebody who could, of this time and of Generation X and the millennials, who could actually survive the time of Jim Crow and the Great Depression, because they're too goddamn spoiled. So the part of being integrated into a burning house is, you know, it's going to be a lot of complaining and tantrums, you know, because you see a lot of, you know, people who can't really carry their own weight in America, you know, and a lot of people who've actually gotten by because of superficial things. And, you know, when there's nothing to hold up, nothing to pay you for being unskilled and superficial, yeah, you know, society is going to break down. and all you can do is cry because a lot of people just they can't handle adversity. So this is why you see people integrating to the country and people integrating, or immigrating to the country, because it's still better than where they come from. Like immigrants gonna understand it. This is better than where they come from, even if it falls and falters. They may have come from a third world country and this is a first world country. If it falls to a second, they're not really tripping. But a lot of people here are only accustomed to first world problems. So second and third world problems scare them. Now, some of us grew up in poverty, and some of us know, actually poverty like that can be in third world countries. So people like that, it's like, it's not like I haven't lived in these situations before. And that's why I say people are jockeying for position, because the people who understand poverty and unfairness, people are trying to get closer to them to learn how to survive. So it's going to be interesting, because all of the opulence of America is coming to an end, and you see all of this fake positioning where it's a lot of tension in the air about like it's gonna all collapse and everybody wants to show that they're the man's man and the woman's woman's. And I'm gonna be honest, when it really hits the fan, all of you people, the vast majority of you people who are trying to position with microaggression, like I'm trying to walk and talk my way out of everything, I'm gonna be truthful with you. Like, the real wolves ain't never came out yet, and they ain't gonna come out in the beginning. But when it get real after that, some of you people who felt like you talked your way into a position or you walked your way in a position, your ass is people gonna let people rise just to take them out. Like, I don't think people realize, because the vast majority of American society is mentally weak. So the mental games people play that make them feel powerful have no effect on people who are actually who have the ability to actually execute with action. No matter how lethal or non-lethal like it'll be, it's like, look, they're gonna get it done and you just gonna have to get out the way. So I think people don't realize we're integrated into a burning house, and everybody's, somebody's looking for the hose, somebody's trying to get the silverware, somebody's looking for the code, trying to break into the vault and take the money, but everybody's scrambling, and the other people outside just, with a can throwing Molotov cocktails at the door, like, come on, I can rebuild, y'all can't. You know what I'm saying? So, like, this country is going to get very, very interesting. And that's why I think, the relationship gender war dynamic is part of that too. I think that started as soon as the recession hit, maybe 10, 15 years ago. This is when everybody started looking and opting out. It's just now it's intensifying because the finish line to the inevitable is closer. So, I was just thinking about stuff like this at the moment. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying right now. But we out.